Hello everybody, we are Group G and today we're presenting corporate social responsibility. Before we start, I'd like you to meet our group members. Meet Elio, Klaudio, Dhimiter and me, Thea. Here's a sneak peek of today's presentation. In order to properly understand CSR, we'll begin by giving a definition for it. We'll discuss the various forms of CSR and their benefits. The key result or the main outcome of this group project is understanding of the value of CSR implementation. Businesses have traditionally operated with a single objective in mind, increasing their profits. However, things have been subject to change in these past decades. Many business leaders have come to recognize that they have a responsibility to do what's best, not for just their company's interest, but for all stakeholders, the planet and the overall society. This idea is known as corporate social responsibility. Simply said, corporate social responsibility is a form of self-regulation that is expressed in initiatives and strategies. Firms are often guided by a concept called the triple bottom line, which is closely related on the 3 Ps. It's essential for businesses not to focus only on financial performance. They should measure their impact on the 3 Ps, which are profit, people, and the planet. Examples of such companies that have successfully incorporated CSR include Starbucks, Lego, IKEA, Ben & Jerry's, and many more.
Understanding corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is a broad concept that can take many forms depending on the company and industry. These can include philanthropy, volunteer efforts, which can benefit society and boost business brands at the same time. A business must be responsible to itself and its shareholders before it can be socially conscious. Businesses that participate in CSR initiatives frequently expand to the point where they are able to support the community. As a result, corporate social responsibility is typically a strategy that's implemented by large corporations. In the end, a company has a greater need to provide an example of moral conduct for its associates, rivals, and industry, the more well-known and prosperous it is. This is because businesses who implement CSR programs frequently develop their operations to the point where they can support the community. Types of corporate social responsibility. We have, first one, environmental. This is the cornerstone of corporate social responsibility, which is anchored in protecting Mother Nature. A business can guarantee that it leaves the environment better off than it found it by conducting its activities as efficiently as possible and supporting relevant causes. Environmental stewardship is frequently pursued by businesses through reducing pollution, waste, natural resource consumptions, and emissions through its manufacturing process, recycling goods and materials throughout its processes, including promoting reuse practices with its customers, compensating for negative effects by restoring natural resources or lending support to organizations that can help reduce the company's impact, adopting ways of distribution with minimal negative effects on emissions and pollutants. Ethical. The cornerstone of corporate social responsibility. Ethical responsibility is based on doing things in a just and moral way. Although external factors or client demands may influence ethical goals, businesses frequently set their own standards. These include, regardless of age, color, culture, sexual orientation, or any other factors, all consumers will get fair treatment. Positive treatment of all employees. This includes treating everyone equally in the workplace, including suppliers of various racial backgrounds, genders, veteran statuses, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Honest and respectful disclosure of operational concerns to investors. A business may decide to handle its relationship with external stakeholders outside of what is legally necessary, although this is not necessarily required. Then we have philanthropic. Another cornerstone of corporate social responsibility, philanthropic responsibility questions how a business behaves and how it contributes to society. Philanthropic duty, in its most basic definition, refers to how an organization allocates its resources to improve the world. This consists of whether a business distributes its profits to good causes or charities, whether a business exclusively conducts business with suppliers or vendors who share its charitable values, whether an employer provides time off or matches employee donations with charitable efforts, and whether a business participates in community fundraising activities or sponsors them. Then we have financial responsibility. This is the last pillar of corporate social responsibility that unites the 3 aforementioned areas. A firm may have intentions to become more environmentally friendly, morally upright, and charitable, but it must support these plans with cash contributions to programs, charitable donations, or product development. This covers money spent on developing innovative items that promote sustainability through research, securing a diverse staff by hiring a range of talent, initiatives that educate staff members about DEI, social responsibility, or environmental issues, processes that can cost more but produce better corporate social responsibility outcomes. Benefits of corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility benefits a firm just as much as it benefits the community. Corporate social responsibility initiatives can strengthen the relationship between workers and businesses, increase morale, and help both parties feel more a part of the world. Here are several more reasons firms embrace corporate social responsibility, in addition to the benefits of the environment. First, we have brand recognition. According to a research in the Journal of Consumer Psychology, consumers are more likely to have a positive opinion of a business that has taken steps to aid its clients than they are of a business that have proven they can produce high-quality goods. Customers are growing more conscious of the effects businesses may have on their communities, and many often base their purchasing decisions on a company's CSR efforts. A corporation is more likely to have positive brand reputation as it increases its corporate social responsibility efforts. Besides brand recognition, we have investor relations. Companies that are leader in their environmental, social, or governance issues have an 11% valuation premium over their rivals, according to a Boston Consulting Group study. Implementing CSR strategies tends to have a favorable impact on how investors feel about an organization and how they evaluate the value of the company, which can give businesses a competitive edge and help them outperform the market. Then we have employee engagement. Researchers from Texas, Temple, and the University of Minnesota discovered in yet another study that non-financial job perks that support employee retention are CSR-related values that link businesses and employees. People who work for a firm they believe in are more likely to stay with it. As a result, there will be less churn, unsatisfied personnel, and overall hiring costs.
Let's move on to the next point. ISO 26000 provides guidelines rather than requirements. Hence, unlike some other well-known ISO standards, it cannot be certified. Instead, it clarifies what social responsibility is, assists businesses and organizations in translating principles into successful actions, and shares best practices in the field of social responsibility around the world. It is intended for all organizations, regardless of their activity, size, or location. The standard was launched in 2010 after 5 years of talks involving numerous stakeholders from around the world. Representatives from governments, non-governmental organizations, industry, consumer groups, and labor organizations from throughout the world were involved in its development, indicating that it represents a worldwide agreement. However, companies use different CSR approaches. Obstructionist approach. Managers that use this approach to deal with ethical and social responsibility concerns are acting illegally and unethically. The organization may violate the law or act in ways that are deemed unethical and unsocially responsible. The management is well aware that the actions they are making are unethical and may even attempt to hide it. Typically, the manager is mainly concerned with ensuring that the organization generates the maximum profit possible and pleasing the firm shareholders by producing as much money as possible. Due to the use of asbestos in their products, Manville exposed its customers to such dangerous minerals. Defensive strategy. In this strategy, the manager makes judgments that are influenced by society's laws but makes little effort to act properly. As an example, consider a manufacturing company that operates a factory in a country with few, if any, labor regulations protecting employees. A manager may reply to complaints of child labor or extremely poor working conditions by claiming that the company is not violating any laws in that country. This strategy likewise prioritizes shareholder interest over doing the right thing. Accommodative approach. An accommodating strategy is one in which managers recognize the importance of being socially responsible and making ethical decisions when needed. This strategy seeks to strike a balance between profit and shareholder return on investment, while also operating ethically. For instance, McDonald's offers a healthy menu to its customers in order to fight obesity. Proactive approach. This strategy is one in which managers are constantly seeking ways to be good corporate citizens and go out of their way to help society. Organizations that take this approach are thought to be the most socially responsible. Nucor decided to not cut bonuses while the recession hit because they care about all stakeholders. Why CSR is important? Being a socially responsible business can help a company's image and brand. Social responsibility initiatives can raise employee morale in the workplace and lead to increased productivity, which has an impact on the company's numbers. Social responsibility activities implemented by businesses can boost consumer loyalty. And also, companies that are socially responsible have an advantage over their competitors because they create superior and good brand perceptions.
Moving on with real-life examples of a CRS. Everyone has heard of H&M, a famous fashion retailer with headquarters in Sweden, but not everyone knows that they have faced many legal actions in the United States for greenwashing, also known as misleading marketing. They declared some of their products as sustainable, when in reality that was not the case. Customers filed numerous lawsuits against them after discovering that only 20% of their sustainable clothing could actually be recycled or reused, contrary to what they had stated, which resulted in a breach of corporate social responsibility and forced them to either change their marketing approach or make their products 100% sustainable. Because of this huge scandal, H&M lost lots of customers, thus their sales decreased heavily. A few months later, H&M promised to produce only sustainable and eco-friendly clothing to make up for their previous fraud. On the contrary, Levi's was one of the first, if not the first brand to push for a more sustainable supply chain. They started by reducing energy use, reducing emissions and waste, focusing this way on workers' well-being initiatives and the health of supply chain workers. They even threw a collection with natural and plant-based dyes, and throughout these campaigns, they created a great reputation in the clothing industry and gave lots of new customers. Levi's has expanded into 12 countries, and 100,000 workers have already benefited from this policy change since their sales began increasing. To conclude everything, CSR aims to make the world a better place by forcing supply chains to be responsible and think about their employees and customers, not just about their profit, because there are hundreds and millions of people at stake. This presentation's aim was making a point to urge young people like us to support companies like Levi's that prioritize their consumers over generating profits. We have also prepared a video regarding these two scenarios.
Finally, we got a break. Those exercises were so hard. I hate Excel, bro.
Honestly, it keeps on getting worse and worse. He's ripping us piece
By the
by
way,
piece.
nice sweater.
Oh, thank you. I read it at H&M. It's 100% recyclable and eco-friendly.
What was that?
It's 100% recyclable and eco-friendly.
No, it's not. It was a fraud that H&M made.
What?
Only 20% of that is recyclable, and they lost many customers.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I'm for real.
Yeah, they violated the code of corporate social responsibility. They were
I didn't
unethical.
know that.
Yeah, you should change to brands like Nike or Levi's that are brands that are for real 100% recyclable and eco-friendly.
By the way, are we getting something to drink?
Yeah.
A few moments later.
What's the time?
We're not even that late.
And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you guys for your attention, and we're looking forward to any questions or suggestions you might have. Thank you.